MCOM TV presents Cooking Monkey Bread, and here with this week's fast and delicious recipe is your host, Melodie Oliphant.
Hi, welcome to the show. My name is Melodie Oliphant, and today we will be making monkey bread. So to start off, you need sugar, cinnamon, a Ziploc bag, hopefully big enough to carry stuff. You need a can of biscuits, and then you need brown sugar, butter, melted, a spoon, a bowl, and olive oil. So to begin, you're gonna open the Ziploc bag, and you wanna take about a cup of sugar, depending on how much monkey bread you're making. You wanna put it in the Ziploc bag, and it can get a little messy, but just bear with it. Usually 1.5, 2 will be good. And then you want to get cinnamon, and you could do a lot. It really just depends on how much you want in there. Keep going. So once you get enough, you just kind of want to shake it up and see if that's the amount that you want. If not, you can just keep adding more. This recipe is really good for sleepovers, breakfast, pretty much anything. And there's no exact amount of how much you need of everything. You just kind of go with how much your heart or stomach desires. So once you get enough cinnamon and sugar in there for your taste, you're gonna open a can of biscuits. Make sure you shake that enough. Okay. So open your can of biscuits. Let it pop. And you're gonna take one biscuit at a time. They're really sticky. And you wanna just cut off little balls and roll them and just put them in there. I usually only do one biscuit at a time because if you put too much in there, they get too clumpy. So just put them in little balls. And once you're done doing that with each biscuit, you want to shut the bag and shake it. This is my favorite part because it's a fun recipe. And you want to massage it. That sounds weird, but you want to get as much cinnamon as you can on it. And then you want to take your olive oil and spray it in the bowl. Most of the time you would use a bundt pan, but I'm a broke college kid, so I don't own one. So you're going to take them out of the Ziploc bag and just kind of throw them in to the bowl. And you want them to touch towards the end. Don't be scared to shove your hand in here. Just make sure you wash your hands first, because that's gross. Keep going, and you literally just take it one biscuit at a time. So keep going. It gets really messy. So just keep going with these. Like I said earlier, literally can make this anywhere. It does not take long to make whatsoever. Whoop, didn't shut it. Just keep shaking. The more biscuits you make, you might have to add more sugar or cinnamon to the bag. It really just depends on your desire. So just keep shaking it up. And we're about to go to commercial break. So when we come back, I will show you how to finish making monkey bread. Thank you for tuning in.
Have you ever been at the park with your friends, ready to play basketball like Michael Jordan, but your skill set just wasn't up to par?
Man, hold up.
Drink Athlete's Choice.
Check up.
It makes you do things you thought were never possible.
Man, where did that come from?
Athlete's Choice. It makes a difference.
We just finished shaking the second biscuit, so we're gonna keep going. kind of a fun process. Play some music while you're doing it. Whatever you got to do. It's fun though. I always make this for family events because it's just a quick, easy thing. It's kind of like cinnamon rolls, so you could have it for dessert, which I like more than just having it for breakfast. But I mean, this recipe works awesome because you can just put it in the fridge or leave it out even and just kind of heat it up the next day, and it tastes as good as it did the day before. So you just keep going. Some people might find it boring, but it's fun to me. So you just keep adding it together. You can kind of see that they're really close together because we're going to put an icing over it later, so you want them to be really close because you're going to tear them apart later. So just keep going. Like I said, you can see the sugar getting kind of low. So once you get to the last biscuit or so, you might have to re-add some sugar to the bag. Ooh, can't get this open. Okay, let's just take them out. Make sure you wash your hands before you do this. You don't want dirty monkey bread. This really is not a long process. You just keep going. Just keep adding it. So you just keep shaking it. Ugh. Try not to make a mess. I've got sugar all over the table, which is probably not really good. You don't have to be perfect in getting them in little balls because, I mean, once you put it in the oven, you're just going to tear it up anyway. So, like I said, just keep going. Oh. If you want to make it for big parties, I suggest getting 2 cans of biscuits, maybe even 3. This, with 1 can, depending on how much people like to eat, could feed a group of people. So you just want to add everything to your desire. Kind of as I said earlier, you don't necessarily have to like follow the exact recipe. If you don't like a lot of cinnamon, you don't have to put a lot in there. You literally just keep on going. Oh, it's stuck to the napkin. It's gross. So, sometimes I like to make them really big because when you pull them out out of the oven, it's delicious when they're ginormous. They do taste like cinnamon rolls, as I said earlier, so if that's your cup of tea, this is the easiest way to get cheap cinnamon rolls. Ooh. So as you're doing this, you want to preheat the oven to 350. And depending on your oven, it should usually only take about like 10 minutes, if that. But you just want to keep going. Shake off the sugar. Okay, so once you're done with this, you want to get a stick of butter, and usually for every can of biscuits you use, you're going to want to use a stick of butter for that. So you get a stick of butter, and then you get brown sugar, and you're going to need about 5 or so scoops because you want it to turn like a brown caramely color. And once you're done with this, you're going to glaze it over the biscuits, and then you're going to put it in the oven, cook it for about 10 minutes or so. And when you're done with that, it will come out fantastic. Oop, I got butter on the table. But you want to make it a dark, dark, dark color. Oop, and pour it over. And when you're done, it should look like this.